Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, and all those good joints. It is 6:58, and it's time for Kevin's Corner. That's right, y'all. So, I'm back to my normal time, and let's see if I've been able to give YouTube the slip. See, switching up my times, who knows? Might be like, oh, I guess he done gave up. We can go ahead and leave him be and send out notifications. So let's see here. Didn't get one yet. Oh, there we go. Yeah, I did get one. All right then. Some people said hello. All right. Hello from Florida. That's what I'm talking about. Howdy. Howdy. Oh, yeah. Here people come. Ah, that's right. Tennessee. 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 Lord, I really feel real stressed, down and out, losing grip. Although I am black and proud, problems got me pessimistic. Brothers and sisters keep messing up. Why does it have to be so darn tough? I love it. Somebody said my guy Kev, live from Boston. That's what I'm talking about. We had people checking in from all over the place, and I love it like that. Okay, so now, with that being said, since I can tell people are getting the notifications and slowly but surely coming on in to my corner, I'm going to go ahead and get loose. Indiana. Oh, yeah. There was one guy down in Mississippi, is a little special, and everybody used to mess with him. So where you from? He go, Indianapolis, Indiana. Couldn't say Indianapolis. Indianapolis, Indiana. Yeah, so every time I hear Indiana, I think about that. Indianapolis, Indiana. So let's go ahead and get busy. Oh, little too soon. Oh, in the middle of the song. There we go, yeah. Real gorilla. Real gorilla. Real gorilla. It's the kings in the building. Gorillas in here, gorillas in here. Gorillas in here. Yeah, man. Speaking of gorillas, anybody been following this, I guess, this question that everybody has been philosophizing about? That can 100 men beat one silverback gorilla? And I'm thinking, what kind of 100 men are you talking about? Are you talking about a whole bunch of Pee Wee Hermans? A lot of people's like, no way. 100 men, one silver. I love silverback gorillas, but good grief, 100 men. I mean, they must not be from the hood. See, because the silverback would quickly realize he about to get jumped. If he was from the hood, he'd be looking around like, hey man, back up. Hey man, y'all better, yeah, circle that bad boy and jump all over him. That's all you gotta do. Couple cats is gonna have to take one for the team, but 100 men, that's a lot of human beings. But anyway, you got people out there, there's no way. Silverback could easily. Silverbacks don't even punch. They club. You gotta be knocking folks out with 100 men coming at you all at once. But hey, I tell you what, if we could get 100 volunteers to do that, that'd be interesting. But anyway, I like to, you know how guys are. Guys like to philosophize about what could kill what and who could win out of what animal fighting and all that stuff. Who could win between a silverback and, say, a grizzly bear? Guys do that stuff. So anyway, with that being said, we'll philosophize some other time about that. But we got to get into what we're going to be talking about tonight because we got more information about the Maryland man, y'all. Yep, it seems to me that the whole Maryland man issue is starting to fall apart like we all knew it would. We all knew it would because it started off in bad faith. Anytime the Democrats get involved with something, you could pretty much, just assume that it's all in bad faith anyway. So that's falling apart. And then we got the Democrats fighting back and they're sending some of their best out to go to war against Donald Trump. All of the lies, all of the narratives, all of the fake stuff, all of the conspiracies, all of the negativity. It's all coming out, man. They're desperate. So let's get into it tonight and have a little fun before I got to go to work. Oh, and don't forget, check out Kevin's Corner store. Yeah. And that number right there, 330-974-4607. You text MAGA to that number. We'll stay connected just in case they try to bounce me off here. And if you want to participate in the super chat, or you just want to simply support the channel through my Cash App or PayPal, the links are below each video as well. Now let's go. Let's get into this. Starting off with this nonsense.
We're not so happy about the image of you looking like the Pope.
Oh, I see. You mean they can't take a joke? You don't mean the Catholics. You mean the fake news media.
Bam! There it is. Off grip. Anytime the news come out, say that people are talking about, everybody's asking, people are saying, no, you can best believe that comes straight out of their studio. Oh, okay, so Trump, he posted something funny. All right, let's go ahead and try to create a false narrative that people out there are mad. We won't tell them what people. How many Catholics you think that these bums done asked? That's my question. How many surveys have they done with Catholics? Say, does this picture of Trump, this meme of Trump being the Pope, does that offend you? No, nobody. They just straight said, we're going to say it and pretend that we're asking on behalf of all of the concerned Catholics out there that Trump posted a meme of him looking like the Pope.
Yeah, not the Catholics loved it. I had nothing to do with it. Somebody made up a picture of me dressed like the Pope, and they put it out on the internet. That's not me that did it. I have no idea where it came from. Maybe it was AI, but I know nothing about it. I just saw it last evening. Actually, my wife thought it was cute.
I thought it was hilarious, but I guess it was a cheap fake. I guess that's what it was. I mean, you know what? Media can't take a joke. The left can't take a joke because, see, they're in constant pursuit of negativity. See, when you want to find negative stuff, you can't see the humor in anything. Yeah, you're looking to try to find the evil in things, even when, you know, they're not evil. You know, somebody said Cincy is heating up. Oh, yeah. Yeah, man. Price Hill. I know exactly where it's at. You're talking about the situation where the father decided he was going to go ahead and run down a police officer after his son got caught in a stolen vehicle with a loaded gun, jumps out the car, starts running, drops the gun, pick it up, and then gets shot by the police. So I guess his pops is mad about it and going to go out and run down a police officer and kill him. That's how he resolves his issues and his anger, which I read that story, I watched that story, and I couldn't believe it. And I said to myself, are you kidding me? So instead of this father I'm sorry, I got distracted. You brought that up. But instead of this father blaming the right person, which is himself, he gonna get mad and blame the cops. That is all the way on the shoulders of old boy, his pops. So if anybody, you should have got out the car, laid down in the middle of the road, put it in neutral on a hill and let it run your own self over. That's what you should have did. Yeah, you're solely responsible for that. So your son gets caught in the midst of a crime, running with a gun, all of those factors put together, and yet your son's the victim? That's what it is? This is unbelievable, man. And it burns me up to see people online. That's right. That guy got revenge, man, because they shot his son for nothing. Boy, I tell you, don't get me started on that. I'll probably talk about that tomorrow. All right, let's get back to Pope Trump.
She said, isn't that nice?
My question about
Actually, I would not be able to be married, though. That would be a lot. I'd have to the best of my knowledge, popes aren't big on getting married, are they? Not the.
Now you see Mayor Bowser right there? She don't want to laugh. She hates Trump. Somehow she's in this picture, though. But nonetheless, everybody gets the joke except the fake news. Can't laugh at anything. Remember Trump during his rally when he asked Russia to find those 30,000 emails from Hillary Clinton? And they took him seriously. Even though the whole crowd burst out laughing. I guess they assumed, wow, look at that. Trump really asked Putin to help him find 30,000 emails so he can go ahead and go after Hillary Clinton. Fascinating. He's so bold and open with his betrayal. Yeah, so that's what the media tries to do. When you have an evil eye, everything is evil. But I saw it and I cracked up.
That we know of? No. I think it's the fake news media that, they're fakers.
my question, though, sir, was about the fact that it was put out on the White House account, even though it was AI generated, it was a joke, it was a meme, does it at all diminish the substance of the official White House account to have it go out on that particular?
No. Okay? I'll field this one for you, Trump. No, it doesn't. I mean, why, blah, blah, blah. Does it diminish the White House, the whatever, majigger? Okay? I tell you what, the stuff that they was putting out on the White House official website under Joe Biden, that right there diminished the whole thing. They should have taken down the whole White House website when Joe was in office, because they kept having to retract stuff, take stuff down, put stuff up, change stuff, clarify stuff. Unbelievable. Here she is, though. Does it diminish? See, they focus on some of the most irrelevant, minute, stupid things. Do you think people are going onto the White House's website every day just to check in? All right, I'm going in out there. Let's see what's going on right now in the White House. Hey, Trump's not the Pope. You know what? This right here is blasphemy. I can see if he would have put a picture of himself up as Jesus, something like that, him on the cross. But good grief, the Pope. But they want to make it be a big deal. See, a big deal out of nothing. And when you have a group of people who can't discern the difference between big problems and little problems, then all their problems become irrelevant. You don't want to hear anything. Now they're that kid. I couldn't tie my shoe. And it's a crisis. Full-blown crisis. Oh, you couldn't tie your shoe? I can't. And then my mama bought these new shoes for me, and him stepped on it, and now they dirty. Wipe them off. That's all you got to do. Yeah, but to that kid, it's a huge problem. Same thing with the media. That's why they're irrelevant now. So I guess now they want to start another, I guess this is Popegate. Popegate, here we go.
Give me a break. It was just somebody did it in fun. It's fine. Have to have a little fun, don't you?
Yes, but not when you're dealing with the party poopers. Boom, boom. Party poopers. The party pooper media and the fake news. The Democrats. Now, here we go. Since we're talking about Pope Trump, MSNBC brings on a bootleg, I guess, Christian philosopher to talk about the difference between Christians, MAGA Christians, and I guess regular Christians. So let's go ahead and see what he got to say about this.
Barbarians are at the gate. You need a barbarian to fight back against you. And what I'm getting from you is you don't really believe that the barbarians aren't, the traditional barbarians. It's just, I don't like the left.
Oh, it's very anti-left. I mean, look.
So Donald Trump wouldn't be a barbarian in this scenario.
Well, and think about how contrary this is to the example of Jesus, because Jesus comes to ancient Israel when it's under Roman occupation, where the people of Israel are deeply oppressed. And he doesn't come and overthrow the government. He doesn't come and rule in the way that these Christian right people want to rule. He comes in and he loves other people. He serves other people. And he even forgives the people who are executing him as they're executing him.
First of all, Jesus wasn't, he was permitted to go into Rome. I mean, he was able to go into Rome. What is he talking about? And Jesus was coming preaching a heavenly kingdom, not a worldly kingdom. He was not a politician. Okay? He told everybody, though, to obey the laws of the land. Okay? Obey the laws of the land. Don't be going into some country just violating all of that country's laws, rules, and so on and so forth. But Jesus didn't violate any of the rules. He just came in preaching. So he really offended folks because of his religious beliefs and the threat to their religiosity and their control over the people when it comes down to their religion. But this guy right here is trying to make it seem like, okay, I guess our government, current government, should operate under the premise of let everybody come in, come one, come all. Like we're heaven or something. Like the United States is the heavenly kingdom where we're embracing everybody. Look, I want all of the illegal immigrants, all of the folks on the globe to be welcome into heaven if they do right and do the things they got to do to get there. But that's not our responsibility because we don't have the keys to the gates of heaven and stuff like that. But we do have the keys to the United States of America. We don't have to let everybody come in because we're talking about we're a sanctuary city. Okay, we're not a church. We're a country. And this folk is up here talking about some that's contrary to what Jesus did. These MAGA folks want to just rule over people. Do they want to rule over people because of what? They're just evil? That's what it is. Listen to how he describes us MAGA Christians.
And yet you look at this Christian right, the MAGA Christian right. It is will to power. It is.
Wait a minute. What about the liberal Christian left? Where they have drag queens in church and stuff like that? LGBT flags flying around all over the place. Fanning people with an LGBT flag. All of that stuff. So this guy right here is talking about the MAGA Christian right. So what about the liberal left? Abortions for everybody? What about that? I wonder if this fake newscaster is going to bring that up. Now, wait a minute. Do you declare yourself to be a Christian? Yes, but not one of those MAGA Christians. You believe in children going through gender affirming care? Yes, Jesus would have allowed that. Jesus would have welcomed all of those. As a matter of fact, he would have just waved his wand and made them into the opposite sex or gender that they want to be. That's what he would have done. But yet this guy's up here trying to judge MAGA Christians.
It's cruelty. It is dominance. Look how they applaud as Trump is cruel to immigrants. Just
cruel to immigrants. It's cruelty. So now, what he's trying to do is attack us from a religious standpoint and make us feel guilty by supporting Trump in his effort to deport these people. Now, there's nothing cruel about that. Yeah, that right there, actually, I would say is not cruel. It's kind. Okay, because it could be worse. I mean, how many folks you know could break into other people's country and then they get offered $1,000 to return, a flight back home, safety? I mean, think about this. They get to go home safer than they did when they came here. So now this cat's whining about us sending them home in style, y'all, versus trotting through all of Central America, hot, worried about the cartel, all of that stuff. But we sending them back first class, baby. Sending them back in style with some scratch, little scratch to get on your feet while you're going. And he's talking about the cruelty. Oh, so now, what are we supposed to do? I mean, there might be plenty of room in heaven for all the souls, but not in America. There's limited resources in heaven, but not in America. So you're trying to make us think by enforcing the law that's cruel and it questions our Christianity, which this guy's a fool.
It's vicious, depriving them of their constitutional rights.
There we go. It's vicious, depriving them of their constitutional rights. Then what's the difference between an American and illegal? That's the question. See, so as soon as they get here illegally, then they just become basically an American citizen. This guy's talking about constitutional rights, even though they're judged and they're judged totally different than an American citizen. If American citizen, gets in trouble, they get judged by their peers. These folks, they have immigration judges. Okay, they're not going to get judged by their peers, because if they get judged by their peers, they'll never be found guilty, because they would be judged by a whole group of illegal immigrants. All right, we got 12 illegal immigrants as the jury, and we have an illegal immigrant as the defendant. Do you think that this illegal immigrant that came across the border illegally is wrong? No. I'm going to go ahead and vote he's innocent. Of course he would be innocent. So this person is trying to make it appear that all these illegal immigrants, as soon as they get here, even though they came real raggedy, once they get here, then they got to go through all the process that an American citizen would have to go through to be found guilty. And I heard somewhere that all of these judges, these immigrant judges, are under the executive branch anyway. So they're not dealing with them from the judicial branch, but the executive branch. So basically, these judges should be looking at a very narrow set of guidelines when it comes down to determining whether these folks are here the right way or the wrong way or require asylum or not. Very narrow. Unlike the wide, very vast, path to citizenship when it came down to mucus and the Democrats. Everything was okay for asylum. Asylum for everybody. So this guy right here, once again, is a bum.
This is nothing about this is drawn from historic Christian theology.
So nothing about this is drawn from Christian theology.
So the man with no base is trying to tell all of us Christians on the right that we're no good and we're applauding Trump's cruelty. Did anybody see Trump go ahead and start rounding these people up, taking them out into the middle of the desert and say, look, you walked here, now you can walk home.
We're in the middle of the desert.
We don't care. We don't care. Here's one bottle of water. We don't want to spend too much on this. So each one of you get, it's not, look, I know it's a little light. I was thirsty on the way down. But I left some for you. Oh, wait, no. This is for all of you. All of you. You don't all get your own, okay? You got to split this amongst all, 7,000 of you? So you might want to be very sparingly. Okay, there you go. Wait a minute. Some people are crying. Hold on, let me fill up the bottle. There we go. Oh, yeah, that's right. Now we got illegal tears. There we go. That'll go ahead and get you a couple miles before you all die of thirst. Yeah, so I guess that's what Trump is doing? No, that's not what he's doing. So let's get back to, of course, this Maryland man, y'all, because they're all upset over Trump's illegal immigration policies.
Maryland man deported Maryland man.
Maryland man.
Maryland father who was mistakenly deported. Maryland man. Maryland father. Maryland man.
I'm your Maryland man. That's who I am. I'm here to be whatever I can. So now he's a Maryland man. Let's see what's going on with this Maryland man that everybody's whining about.
Mistakenly deported Maryland dad.
I think, as you've seen, and there's been some great leadership from Senator Chris Van Hollen, who apparently indicated earlier today that either his constituent is returned or he plans to go to El Salvador himself.
Well, you know what, guys? They're starting to pull back from that now. Hawker Jeffries sent out a memo saying, which all stop. Now, we thought we could turn sentiment away from, what Trump is doing, get some people mad for nothing, supporting the Maryland man, but it's backfiring. We starting to look stupider than we thought we would. So would y'all stop? No more going down there for the Maryland man. So let's hear what this Maryland man has been up to that they're fighting to save and bring back to the country.
That's exactly the type of action, as members of Congress, we can do to highlight the injustice, dramatize and amplify it, and force the administration.
Dramatize. That's one thing I will say they do. Everything's dramatized. There you go. It's a big deal. Dramatized, to highlight it and all of this stuff. All they end up doing is highlighting how anti-American they are and how stupid they are when they defend folks like this.
To comply, which in this instance, I believe we will make sure happens.
We're doing this both to require the Trump administration to answer for its unconstitutional violations of due process and send a message to President Bukele that no, it is not cool to collude with Trump to deprive people living in America.
Y'all hear this? Deprive people living in America. They shouldn't be in America. That's the funny part about that. Yeah, so now this guy is calling for all kind of diplomatic sanctions and stuff like that. Now, who do these people think they are? He's up here telling folks to boycott going to El Salvador. Man, right now, I got a good mind to schedule a flight to El Salvador just to enjoy myself. Go down there like I'm down here in El Salvador where the Democrats was at. And no, I'm not at the prison trying to get, Killer Garcia back. I'm down here on the beaches where it's now safe because it used to be a bunch of killers and everything but the El Salvadorian president cleaned all that up. So anyway, I'll get back to you. Right now, I got a margarita waiting on me. Take care. I'll see you next time in Kevin's Corner. That's what I got a good mind to do. Go down and patriot them because these folks now are talking about some boycotting of El Salvador.
The right to due process. In addition to this resolution, I called upon all Americans who care about their due process rights to vote with their feet. Don't
you hear this fool? Their due process rights. All Americans are to, once again, see the conflation, their due process rights. Now, what he's really trying to do is confuse folks into thinking that this illegal gangbanger terrorist has the same due process rights as Americans. So therefore, you should be concerned about him. Therefore, you should go ahead and punish yourself and not go to El Salvador for nothing. Now, when we were going to go to El Salvador, we had this great package. The trip was planned and booked and everything. But, you know, Trump is violating our due process rights, and we're going to go ahead and show El Salvador that we value Americans' due process rights because we're whining about a El Salvadorian national that is returned back to his own country. But this bum right here is trying to make it appear that that guy is simply an American citizen. He's a Maryland man, y'all. He's a Maryland man.
Don't go to El Salvador as tourists, so long as the government of El Salvador is violating the constitutional rights of people who reside in America. There are lots of other nice countries in the region. I've also called upon states to divest pension fund holdings from companies that do business in El Salvador. And finally, Senator Kaine and I, along with Senator Schumer and others, are planning to also introduce sanctions legislation targeting President Bukele and all those who are part of his government conspiring with Donald Trump to deprive residents of the United States of their constitutional.
Residents of the United States of their constitution. That guy is not a resident of the United States. I mean, do you hear the foolery that comes out of these people's mouths and the stuff that they dedicate their time towards? I mean, this guy should be worried about the crime in his city, the illegal immigrants that's still running around his city causing trouble. He should be working on policies that would change the perception of the Democrat Party. But nope, not him. He's talking about introducing stupid legislation that is not going to fly, sanctions, and all of that mess. I mean, they got to have something on these people about the Logan Act. I mean, what are you doing? You're attacking basically a foreign country. You're doing, you know, some type of diplomatic relations and stuff that you're not sanctioned to do yourself. You're not supposed to be talking about we're going to mess up the relationship with El Salvador because they won't send back one of their own citizens. And have the nerve to say, an American citizen, our citizens, I guess he just assumed that this guy's an American.
Constitutional right.
Hold on, what again? Wait.
Who are part of his government conspiring with Donald Trump to deprive residents of the United States of their constitutional right.
Well, you know what? These, you know, why I oughta. So now, here he is. The Americans of the United States of their constitutional rights. Well, let's see a little more about this Maryland man they love so much that they're going down to get. Remember his wife had came out? I want my husband to come home. I miss him so much and the children and stuff. And then when that guy was interviewing her, said, look, you know, you filed some charges against your husband in the past. Said you were scared. I mean, you got anything to say about that? All I know is my husband's safe, and that's all well, you know why she didn't want to fill in those blanks? It's because of these.
Came to fill out a protective order. I think it was in December, but I didn't show up to the court because his family washed my brain telling me that his dad was sick.
Y'all ever had your brain washed? His family washed her brain. It said, took off that helmet, reached in with an ice cream scooper, popped that brain out and went to work. Dishwashing detergent on it, a little bleach, and stuck it back in that dome of hers. So they washed her brain. Now remember, guys, she's talking about the man that the Democrats love so much. She's talking about the man that the Democrats went all the way to El Salvador to rescue. Now, see, this is how dumb they are. They don't have anybody to do a little intel, some recon on these people. They didn't have anybody to say, okay, when we come out supporting this man with the sketchy past, I'm sure the counter response to us is that they're going to go out and try to find as much dirt on this guy as possible to show the type of characters that we are going after and supporting. But they didn't do that. They didn't stop to say, all right, it shows here that his wife filed some charges against him. Is there any 911 tapes or any audio out there that might ever come out while we're doing press conferences requiring Americans not to go to El Salvador for this guy? Here it is, guys. This is their champion. Where's that Me Too? Somebody go give me, anybody? Oh, I'm sorry. They ran out of Me Too. They ran all out of Me Too. Here we go.
And not to do it, so I didn't do anything. But after that, it was I would call the police. I have a lot of police reports.
I have a lot of police reports from that Maryland man. That's who I am. A lot of police reports. That means that Maryland man was going to work on her all the time.
What is this? You burn the toast once more? I told you I don't like my toast burnt.
So a lot of police reports that the Democrats missed.
And I kept trying to get to the door basement to try to open the door, and then like he pushed me. So then when I was able to go outside to get a phone, I called 911 from a disconnected phone. Now they took a long time to get to the house.
Of course, because they're up in Maryland. There it is. Woke City. We'll be there in about 8 hours. There we go. So let's continue though, because that Maryland man got her on the run.
It was probably like 20, 30 minutes. So I saw a neighbor walking his dog, and I opened the door and I was like, help. And then when he heard me, like he grabbed me from my hair and then he slapped me. And then the neighbor like,
oh snap. Because you could get a slap for that. Y'all hear that? She went to say help. Now you know it's bad. When you run outside to a full-blown neighbor and saying help, what kind of beast she's living with? What kind of animal did that congressman go down there and sit across the table from, looking sincere and everything about him? We're going to get you back to your family. Okay. Scratch that from the record. By the way, we're not getting him home. We all know that. But I'm required to say stuff like that in front of the cameras. Okay. All right. Off the record, we know he's never coming back home. Anyway, we're going to get you back. Trust me. We're going to work and do everything we can to get you home. We know you enjoy and miss beating your wife. We want to return that. We want you to make sure that you go ahead and make up for lost time. That's right. Smacking her around. So now she ran outside to try to get some help and got smacked for that.
he didn't know what to do. He didn't know what to react. I have pictures of the evidence, like all the bruises.
Pictures and evidence of all the bruises that naturally applied makeup that he gave her. Wow. Why didn't the Democrats do any recon? They didn't check to say, hey, look, at some point, audio is going to come out about this Maryland man. At some point, we're going to have to try to look stupid by defending this guy talking about due process, and we want this citizen of America to be brought back here after bruising his wife up. What else? Tell us everything else.
Because even on Wednesday, he hit me like around like 3 a.m. He would just wake up and like hit me. And
y'all hear that? That man would wake up. Good morning, sweetie. Your morning slap. How many of y'all get those? Just for no reason. And just wake up, start smacking your wife or husband. And there you go. That's the animal. The animal that they want to bring back. Democrats want to bring back. Man, this wonderful audio right here is beautiful. I'm telling you right now, I would be playing this audio while I'm showing all these dumb Democrats down there in El Salvador. While I'm showing all these dumb Democrats talking about something. It's not about that what he's done. It's about due process. He deserves to be reunited with his family so I can continue beating him, right? What else he do to her?
And then last Saturday for my daughter's birthday party, before I went to my daughter's birthday party, he slapped me 3 times.
Whoa! He's giving her birthday slaps. I thought you give, the kids the pats and stuff. He's giving her the slaps instead of the kids the pats. So you know what? Our daughter's 3. There you go. Now go ahead and blow up those balloons. Stop crying. Don't look like that. Wipe your face or something. So now here he is, slapping his wife at that birthday party and everything. Now, is this the kind of guy you want to invest in, bring back to the country? Good, upstanding person you want in society? Democrats do. Democrats want this guy to come back here and get some due process. How you like that?
And then last week I did call the police. My sister called the police because he hit me in front of my sister.
Again? This dude is having slap attacks. Unbelievable, man. Maybe he got a twitch or something. Man, he's a habitual slapper. Unbelievable, man. Boy, I tell you, let me get one of these Democrats on an interview, and I would play this whole audio. So do you feel Mr. Garcia deserves due process, right? You want us to go down and bring him back because the president's violating his constitutional rights? Okay, good. I'm going to play something for you in its entirety, and then afterwards we'll talk about it. Click it. And watch them sitting there looking stupid while they listen to this. You know how many times she has referenced getting slapped around by this guy? Multiple times. And then they stick her out there to the microphone to try to drum up some tears and stuff about bringing him back, whatever. She probably like, man, I don't want this dude back here. First thing he gonna do when he see me is slap me.
I missed you. Give me some sugar.
They did it again. Some guy that I'd never heard of. John James, is he a congressman, this guy?
Who?
He said...
You mean the new leader of the Democrat Party?
He said, ladies and gentlemen, I am going to start the impeachment of Donald Trump. What the hell did I do? Here we go again. They want to impeach me.
You didn't do nothing, Trump.
This lunatic used up. Actually, I had the television way down, and I said to our great First Lady, listen, did I just hear I was being impeached again?
Yeah.
Children who elect.
Yeah. So now this lady, these are the Democrats out there trying to do stuff to stop Trump. Now they done messed around and got this crazy guy on their squad. And of course, now they're distancing themselves from him. And he's now the target because, you know, everybody's like, well, who is this guy? Where'd he come from? He looks crazy. He's nuts. He's talking about impeaching the president. Let's go ahead and bring him on to all these shows now so we can highlight just how crazy the Democrat Party is. So this lady right here is about to blow him up while they are all in these little boxes like the Brady Bunch. The Brady Bunch. And look at his dumb face as she schools him.
Allegedly are American citizens who were deported. They were not deported. Their mothers were deported, and because their mothers are not sociopaths, they chose to take their children with them rather than calling up and finding someone else to take their 2-year-old children. So all of these supposedly liminal cases are actually nothing of the sort. There has been no constitutional crisis. This congressman seems to think that having bad polling numbers is an impeachable offense.
Oh, she's digging into this guy. Now, where is he at? He can't say nothing. See, he went out there and put together that little speech about impeachment. Now he's in a bubble. Everybody wants to sit back and hear from this guy who's talking about impeachment that we didn't even know existed. We want to hear about this guy and his lab that he had, though, with all those beagles. That's what I want to know. I want to know what happened to those hound dogs.
You ain't nothing but a hound dog, crying all the time. Well, you ain't never caught a rabbit and you ain't no friend of mine. Well, they said you was high class. Well, that was just a lie.
I want to know about those hound dogs. Why in the world did you leave those hound dogs in those cages and didn't let them go out and exercise their legs? That's what I want to know. But nonetheless, we'll stick on him being a dummy and trying to impeach the president, and now he's getting schooled.
Somehow a high crime and misdemeanor. It is utterly laughable, and it's because...
Look at his face. Boy, he got that special look like, I have no idea. Yeah, how'd I get into this?
Because the Democrats have no agenda. Donald Trump is running to the left of them on economics and to the left of them on fighting wars and being anti-war and trying to get us out of different things and trying to settle wars. And he is a social moderate. He's not even conservative. There is not a single value that the Democrats hold that they are not willing to immediately abandon if Donald Trump starts to defend it.
You're getting beat up, champ. I thought maybe you might have had the juice to take over the Democrat Party. I thought you had leadership qualities, but nope. Now we all are seeing you get exposed. Unnecessary attention was brought to yourself because you went out there and had the nerve to talk about I'm impeaching the president. And now look at you. Now folks want to look into the way you treated the animals. And now here you are on Pierce getting embarrassed in front of this lady right here.
The Democrats who thought that we had to control the border to protect working class wages. And now all you see is Democrats out there demanding free trade and demanding more access to China. You see Democrats literally sharing Chinese propaganda.
Yes, they are. See, remember, anything Trump does, they do the opposite of. So now this lady is calling it out. All the stuff y'all loved, you'll hate if Trump says he love it. So now this guy right here is put in the dumb bubble. That's what he is. He right now is in the dumb bubble.
Because it's against Trump. They have chosen China over their own working class voters. And Congressman, I'm sorry, but the UAW and the Teamsters have both endorsed the tariffs. You're in a lot of trouble in Michigan.
Wow. So it looks like we got another dim down, y'all. Another dim down. He just went down. Down goes a dim. So now I'm pretty sure we're not going to be hearing much from him anymore, especially considering that their party is starting to distance themselves from him after hearing about how crazy he is in his background. I mean, it shows that they have no leadership whatsoever. You're telling me a rogue Democrat who nobody even knew exists could just come out of the woodworks, out of nowhere, talking about articles of impeachment. See, that's how the Dems roll. But you think they're done? You think they're done sending dumb Dems out? No, they got more dumb Dems on the way out. Let's see, the Milwaukee judge charged with obstructing immigration agents. I'm reading it backwards, guys. Immigration agents is I think that's relieved of duty. Okay, there we go. How you like that? I can read backwards. All right, so yeah, remember this, y'all? Remember this?
Let's talk about the arrest of that Wisconsin judge, Hannah Dugan.
Yeah, let's do that. With Adam Singleton. So now he's a washed up rhino. Now, somebody said dyslexic. That's right. That's when dyslexia comes in handy. You just write everything backwards and then you'll read it the right way. So now, this guy, crying Adam Singleton. Now watch this guy. Remember the lady just said, whatever Trump comes out and does, they just do the opposite. Now he's about to take the dumbest position I've ever heard because he suffers from Trump derangement syndrome. This woman is saying, let's talk about that judge who was arrested because she snuck somebody out the back door. Look at Adam Singleton's response to this. He got to go ahead and dumbify himself because he's anti-Trump.
Who was arrested by the FBI on suspicion that she had steered an undocumented immigrant through a side door to evade federal agents. Why is that such an outrage in your view?
Why is that such an outrage in your view? Why isn't it an outrage in your view, lady? That's my question. It's ridiculous that you're even asking the question that way. Why is that such an outrage in your view? What do you mean? You have a federal judge that commits a crime by obstructing justice, and you're asking, why is that such an outrage? It should be, isn't this an outrage that a judge would do such a thing? But instead, she's asking Adam Singleton to go ahead and weigh in on it because she already knows that he's going to try to cover for the judge by making himself look stupid.
So it's two things. First off, I didn't know it was illegal to, kind of hide somebody that has not been convicted necessarily by the feds. You
hear this, dummy? I can't believe he was a congressman. And this is how he stays relevant, by going on these shows and prostituting himself. Full blown, put on your red dress and throw on those high heels. That guy right there is out there like, come up and see me sometime, big boy. Poo-poopy-doo. That's right. Those boots are made for walking. Yeah. Hey, soprano. Me love you long time. Huh? Yeah, that's what this guy's out there doing. He's out there like that chick from Vietnam. Soprano. Tubuco. Me love you long time. So now this guy right here had the nerve to try to act like he was ignorant about, I didn't know you couldn't hide someone who the cops were looking for in your house. Long as they weren't convicted of it, well, they're being pursued because of something and you're hiding them. So now all of a sudden, if an APB comes out over the CB and they're like, all right, we're looking for this one guy, he's 8 feet tall, his name is Bigfoot. And he also goes by Ray Epps. That we're looking for him. And Ray Epps is in my crib because I done caught a Bigfoot and tied him up by his big feet. And I hear they're looking for him and they come knocking on the door. Do you got Bigfoot in there? And I say, nope. Well, just because Bigfoot hasn't been tried and all of that stuff, I know they're looking for Bigfoot. But I told them Bigfoot wasn't in my crib. Now I'm held accountable. So now here is Adam talking about it. I ain't even had known that was is that a crime or something like that? I'm pretty sure it's not.
They wanted to deport him. I don't know all the details, but so is this saying that if you know somebody who's illegal and they're at your house and the police come, that it's illegal to say they're not there? That's kind of chilling, to be honest with you.
Look at him. He don't even believe it. That's kind of chilling, to be honest with you. Anything to go ahead and try to say whatever Trump's administration is doing is wrong. I got to now prostitute myself. I got to make myself look stupid. Boots are made for walking. That's just what they'll do. That dude right now is somebody's private dancer. I'm your private dancer. I dance all for money. Any old music will do. All these men come in these places. He's that prostitute. And the men all act the same. So now we got this private dancer out there talking about, that's kind of chilling, actually. That someone would...
With you if it's like that. But hey, take a look at this.
Let's look at it. I got to read it backwards, though. Oh, well, look at that. The federal crime of concealing persons from arrest. There we go. Anyone accused of taking measures to help prevent someone from being arrested can... Hey, I'm able to read backwards, y'all. I'm learning how to read words backwards. All right, arrested can be faced with charges themselves for concealing. There we go. You get it. Basically, Adam Singleton, who used to be a legislator, he's pretending he didn't even know that was a crime. See the lengths they're willing to go just to go ahead and hate on Trump. Unbelievable.
Think about that.
Yeah, Adam Singleton, look at him. Look at him looking up.
I didn't know it was...
Full-blown lie. Anytime the eyes, you see them eyes went up like, there it is, up to the left. I didn't know. So you're telling me you had no idea? How did you make it to Congress?
Illegal to, kind of hide somebody that has not been convicted necessarily by the feds. They wanted to deport him. I don't know all the details.
Wasn't convicted by the feds. So there you go, Al Capone. Don't worry, go ahead in my basement. You're good, because you're not convicted yet. They're just looking for you. And until they find you and convict you, you're good. Yes, sir. Is Alfonso Capone in your basement? Nope. Never seen him. Don't know the guy. Boy, this guy's a complete failure. And it's sad because his career has reverted to this right here. This is what it is right now. Just going on left-wing networks, programs, or whatever, and saying bad things about Republicans and Trump. And my question is, once Trump is gone and he's out of office, what is this guy going to do then? All of these people who stay relevant because they're hating on Trump, that aren't really talented, they have no real respect from either party. This guy is just, he's despised by Democrats and Republicans. And once the media is done using this crybaby right here, because Trump is gone or whatever, what is he going to do? He's going to hang up that red dress then. It's going to hang up my red dress. Throw away those high heels. That's what's going to happen. Yep, he's going to be a washed up, dirty, old, wrinkled up prostitute then that nobody wants. I don't care if he's giving it away for free. They're going to be like, get out of here. I'm good. I'm cool.
But
just when I think you've said the stupidest thing ever, you keep talking.
Of the health care of the American.
Oh, here come Hawker Jeffrey with some lies. So Hawker Jeffrey is about to go ahead and lie once again on what Trump said about health care and all of that stuff. Now look at that. Whole entourage of dummies, dum-dums behind him. Here we go.
People, it is outrageous that Donald Trump and congressional Republicans are trying to enact the largest cut to Medicaid in American history. They will hurt families, hurt children, hurt seniors.
Wait a minute. Wait for it. Started from the bottom, now we're here. Started from the bottom, now the dum-dims is here. So the dum-dims are about to go straight to the top. So now it's going to hurt who? They're going to take it all the way to the top.
Hurt women, hurt veterans, and hurt disabled Americans. Hospitals will close, nursing home.
The sky will turn red, the moon will go dark, tidal waves, earthquakes, hurricanes, typhoons, all of that. Do y'all hear this guy? tornadoes, dogs and cats will start fighting, and the lambs will lay down with the lions, and all of this stuff is going to happen, y'all. And now, if you think that's bad, after he done listed about 12 things that's going to go completely belly up, he's going to end it with this.
Will shut down, and people will die.
Bam! There it is. And people will die. How many times did they've come out and said that about something Trump said or did or whatever? And they never just taper it. They never just say, you know what, let's just say it might put a strain on the system. People might have to pay a higher premium. Something like that. Something that is realistic. But instead, cats and dogs, there's going to be raining cats and dogs, acid rain. The ozone layer is going to rip right in half. You know what? There's going to be the dead. They're going to be resurrected and start walking and all of this stuff. And then at the end of the day, people will die. There you go. See, they leave themselves no room to go anywhere after you say people going to die. What's worse than that? So now they done lock themselves into people gonna die narrative. But wait a minute. Here's what Trump really said he's gonna do.
We will always protect Medicare and Social Security for our great seniors with no cuts, and we will defend Medicaid for those great people that are in need. House Republicans are working to invest more money in Medicaid than we spend today. Wow. The only thing we're going to cut is the corruption and the crooks that take advantage of some of the illegal schemes.
Well, look at that. Isn't that odd how we get two different messages? One from the man himself versus the fake man. The guy who just told us people are going to die. It's almost like they don't even listen to what Trump says. It's almost like whatever Trump says, they just come right out and say he says the opposite. I'm not cutting Medicaid or health care and all this stuff. Trump's going to cut Medicaid and health care. Unreal. Now, if you're a bubblehead and you don't watch what Trump actually say, you'll be running around thinking that people are going to die because the Medicare and the Medicaid is going to be cut. So now, guys, don't worry, though, because Gavin Newsom is to the rescue. He's one of the Democrats in the chamber trying to go ahead and relate to all of America by pretending to be a moderate. So let's check his background and his history to see if he's qualified to run for president, okay? Oh, they're going to end homelessness?
We believe, fundamentally, that food solves hunger, that shelters solve sleep, and that housing solves homelessness.
So that's when he was a young slime ball. There you go. That's when he was a young slime ball.
And if we're going to solve the problem of those that are out on the streets that we define as homeless, we better solve the housing problem if we're going to have an impact. And that's why we established this framework, what we call a 10-year plan to end chronic homelessness in San Francisco.
10 years. Okay, cool. So let's see how that all worked out, because I think this was in 2008, maybe, somewhere around there. So that's when he was a young slime ball, and he was talking about we're going to solve it. And all we need is your money. We need more money and stuff. Now, remember, guys, we're grading him based on his past, because this guy wants to become the president, I'm sure. So you got to prove to us you know what you're doing. Now, 2008 until now is a long time. Let's see the progress. 16 years later.
A scathing new report tonight about California's response to the homeless crisis. The state auditor says the state has spent $20 billion
for nothing. You're telling me $20 billion to solve the homeless crisis, and what do we get for our money? Kind of like that choo-choo train that they had all those billions of dollars to build, and for some reason it never got built. But whatever happened to that money? So let's see what happened to those billions of dollars and stuff. And let's see how many years later, I forget. Let's see.
5 years, but can't meaningfully track the spending or measure results.
How do you lose that? How do you lose billions of dollars? And this guy wants to be over the country. He shouldn't even be over like a hot dog stand or a watermelon stand or the lemonade stand or whatever. He shouldn't even be over that. So now this guy lost billions of dollars talking about they're going to solve the homeless crisis. And he wants to become the commander-in-chief, I'm sure. Now, I'm wondering if he would feel the same if he would be so casual about that money disappearing. If it was his winery. I mean, he owns a little winery, makes millions of dollars from that. If they say, yeah, boss, sorry, man, we're missing 10 mil. Don't worry about it, though. Don't worry. It'll show up somewhere. I wonder if he would be okay and cool and calm and collective, or would he be cracking skulls to get his money back? So now all of this money, not only is the money missing, but the problem's not solved.
In a community like the Arts District of North Hollywood, the streets are always packed with patrons, neighbors, and the unhoused.
They clear them and then they come back.
Well, look at that. Everybody's living together. You're talking about inclusivity. That's what you get in California. Yeah, you get the homeless, the people with homes, the jobless, all of them, they're just living together. Now, I want to know about that dookie map. Because if I go to California, I don't want to step in no dookie when I'm walking around. I want to follow the map. Okay, it says 5 feet from here is some doo-doo. To avoid the doo-doo, make a left and then a short right and another left, and then you've evaded the doo-doo. But yet you might slip on some pee. Oh boy. Okay, just in case you avoid the doo-doo, there are 7 needles that are sitting there off the curb. Please do not step on needle. You could get infected with all that stuff. You got all of that. It's like running through a gauntlet in California. So let's go ahead and see how these people are negotiating their lives amongst these people.
And they clear them and they come back.
I've only been in the area since 2018, and in those few years, I've seen it increase almost exponentially.
Numbers a new state audit confirm, as the state legislative audit committee released a report saying that homeless numbers jumped 53% in the last decade.
What? 53% in the last decade with all of that money that disappeared. And they want us to trust the Democrat Party with their money and how they budget things. They want us to just trust the USAID and all of that money being spent under that and all that waste and stuff was really helping with no rubric, not gauging the success of all the money we were donating and shipping out and giving out to folks. Same thing here. All of that money, we saw young slimeball Gavin Newsom talking about all these billions of dollars and how they're going to solve homelessness. And yet it's gotten worse and the money is missing. Who got that money? I mean, it's pretty hard to just misplace that much money. Where's Scrooge McDuck?
With an estimated 180,000 people unhoused in California.
Well, you see that? I know one thing. If Kevin's Corner goes belly up and they repossess everything I own, I know where I need to go to live. Just find me a tent and I'm heading to California. It's kind of crazy. So now, you see that nice fancy tent right there? There you go. He's out rocking the one-seater right there. The roof is retractable on that tent right there. The opening flap creates a nice cool breeze. And unfortunately, it does not come with some padding in the bottom. So you have to bring your own cardboard to sit in the bottom and stuff like that. But I do know one thing. If I do become homeless, I'm not going to be homeless in Ohio. Too cold. I would scrape up a couple of nickels, get me a bus ticket and a tent, and I'm heading out there to Gavin the Newsom's crib. Post up right on the street. Yeah, do the show right from my tent. All right, what's up, y'all? It's a little hot right there. Don't mind these crazy folks behind me taking drugs. Look like they're sleeping, but they're not. So, yeah, don't mind them. Anyway, let's get to what's going on in the news today. So that's what California is looking like right now. As this guy has a podcast that he never addresses these things in his own state and city. How could you even talk about the stuff that's going on around the United States when this stuff is going on in your state?
That's despite the spending of more than $20 billion to stop it.
This is what it's about. It's what we're best at because we keep crushing it.
Yeah, you do. Not in a good way. You're crushing it like Godzilla. Godzilla! That's how you crushing it. You're crushing it like King Kong. That's not good, man. Okay? There's some crushes you don't want. Those are the type of crushing y'all doing. So wait a minute, though. You think the Democrats are done? No, man. They got some other crazy folks out there, too. We about to bring back a classic at the end of this show.
It's a crisis gripping the United States.
I live in the sanctuary homeless encampment up the road there.
I was unhoused for roughly three and a half years.
A hot button issue leading to ridicule.
Look at that. Boy, I tell you, man. Now, it's a little cramped in there. You know what I'm saying? If you are living in a homeless district, you might have to deal with some unruly neighbors. I'll just say that. If I'm out there, I'm like, hey, man, would you get away from the front of my tent? I go to the store, come back, somebody's sleeping in my tent. So every time I would leave, I have to roll the whole thing up and throw it on the back. Just go around the corner. But I wouldn't have to worry about a bathroom because you could just take a dookie right there on the street, apparently, in California. I'd be like, don't look at me. Don't look at me. I'm embarrassed. Whole time I'd be like, don't look at me. All right, so here we go, y'all. That's California. All of these people, how do you be homeless, man? That's crazy, man, to be homeless for 3 years.
Often dominating conservative talk TV.
Oh, you see her. She was up there doing her hair. She like, look, hey, I don't care. I might be homeless, but I got my own dignity.
Issue
I'm about to do my
leading
hair.
to ridicule. Often dominating conservative talk TV.
Homelessness in the state is out of control.
With California as the poster boy, the Golden State has the largest unhoused population in the nation.
That is crazy. I mean, Gavin Newsom has to be one of the most delusional politicians ever. And he thinks that he's really pulling a fast one over on us. He really thinks that people don't recognize the catastrophe that he's left in California. I mean, I don't care how much he gets up there and try to act like we're doing an autopsy on what made the Democrats lose. And let's be honest, I don't care if you actually list all the reasons and the problems with the Democrat Party. Just because you can identify them and list them don't mean you're going to do the opposite. Yeah, it shows me, though, that you're fake because you already knew that these were problems. If you're smart enough, I saw him the other day, listing all of the things that contributed to the Democrats' loss. And he was accurate. That means he's smart enough to recognize how horrible that party is, what their policies are that was bad, and stuff like that. You know, so he thinks if I just recognize that, call it out and show people, yeah, I see what y'all seeing. Y'all are going to forget that I'm one of them. That I knew that stuff was horrible when it was happening and causing us to lose. Now I got to pretend that now I got a revelation on it. And I'm not like the rest of the Democrats that can't recognize all of the issues we have that drug our approval rating down and stuff like that. But you think he's going to govern any differently? No. He's setting himself up to go ahead and tell everybody, look, unlike all the other Democrats, I called all that out. I knew this was a reason it was a problem. You elect me, and I'm going to be the governor for all Americans. In the middle, on the right, on the left, and this side. Yeah, right. And then guess what? We'll all be living like this. Don't y'all want one of those, boys and girls? Look at that. Yeah, don't have to get up and go to work. Just get right up, go outside over here in this little lake or creek or stuff. Forget all the oil and stuff it looks like that's spilled in there. But maybe snag a couple fish, come back in, sleep all day, pluck a couple lice off of you. You know what I'm saying? Other than that, you're good. Yeah, drink out of that, catch a couple fish, and we party all night with the homeless crew. So that's what he wants to turn the whole country into, and I'm not having that.
With almost 200,000 of the country's more than 250,000 people who experienced homelessness on a single night in 2024, the highest ever recorded.
The highest ever recorded.
Democrats have delivered.
And that's why we established this framework, what we call a 10-year plan.
10 years. Blew past those 10 years. Blew past them. This is what folks want. You're telling me that America wants to put our trust in the Democrat Party, and look what they've done to the things that they were responsible for. If you can't be responsible for the little things, why should you be promoted? There you go. I asked you to go ahead and just make sure the floor was mopped. Now you want to own a cleaning service. You can't even do that. And I come in, all right, Frank, I hired you to mop the floors. I mean, there's sticky stuff all over them. What is that? It's this snot on the floor. You know what, Frank? Why didn't you mop up the snot? I'm not touching snot. Then you know what? You're done, Frank. And I want a franchise. I want to own my own cleaning service. No, you can't even do the small things. So this guy right here, 10 years, all those billions wasted, and it got worse.
And chronic homeless in San Francisco.
I want to talk about Governor Newsom. I want to thank him. He's been one hell of a governor, man.
Yeah, for nothing. That's what he's been. And I tell you what, that man's extremely delusional. If he thinks all of these things are not going to be used against him if he runs for president. But I guess he thinks he can get up there and out-talk all of the catastrophe that he left behind. So wait, y'all. We're going to finish with a blast from the past, y'all, that done came out of nowhere after Trump. Listen to this.
Bullshit. It's all bullshit.
And I think after the fact, it is not.
Whoa. Listen to this guy. Look at this guy. Look, watch it.
Second guessing or anything. I think it's fair to go back on and look at this. Look, we had the most qualified person who'd run for president in this country's history at the top of the ticket.
What did Homer Simpson head just say? Did you hear Tampon Tim say that stupid thing?
That in itself should have got this thing won.
Can you say that again?
Look, we had the most qualified person who'd run for president in this country's history at the top of the ticket.
Now, see, it's hard to know if this guy is just blowing smoke or he actually believes it. Because he's a naive dude, man. He's a dumb dude. He's a dumb dude. So in his head, he might have really thought, according to that liberal logic, that Kamala was great. Great. I mean, unbelievable. But he thinks that that chick was the most qualified in the history at the top of the ticket. This person coming up. Dun, dun. Dun, 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 dun. You hear that, hyena? That right there is what the Democrats think is qualified, right there. And we're going to end with another one, y'all, that's been hiding for a while. Representative Federico Wilson. Y'all remember Federico? The washed-up stripper. The one that always rocking the big cowgirl hats, looking like she just came out of the strip club. That woman's back, y'all. And she's calling for everybody to go out there and, I guess, threaten your Congress people. But look where she chose to do her little, I guess, what do you call that? Her interview. I guess, yeah, she's doing a little interview right here on the side of the road. Her press conference. Now, how does one like this become elected and stay elected? You see that right there? How does that chick right there get elected? So let's continue.
I've been giving out the phone numbers to the House of Representatives and to the Senate. It's one number. That number you call and you threaten them.
What did you say?
You threaten them.
And you say...
No, what people need to be doing is calling animal service and telling somebody we got a pink flamingo that's on the side of the road talking into some microphones. Somebody come out with a blow dart or something, a tranquilizer to get the pink flamingo off the street, holding up traffic. Somebody just called the animal service, say we got us a pink panther that then broke out of the zoo and is right here holding up traffic. Thing on the side of the road. Do you see this shit? Unbelievable. What made you think that was a good spot to go ahead and do a press conference? All right, so she got a couple cars. I don't know if those are cars that came with her or if those are cars that's like, bam, bam, I can't get past because there's a pink flamingo out here doing a press conference. So here she is in the grass in the hot sun with all of that pink on, looking like a complete idiot, talking about we need to call and threaten our Congress people. No, people need to call and say, I'm threatening you for embarrassing us in our district. Going out there with all that pink on, looking horrible.
This is wrong. This is not America.
No, what's wrong is you with that pink cowgirl hat on and all of that rest of that pink Boy, I tell you, Democrats, do you understand the level of folks that are in their party? I just saw a couple of days ago, Hank Johnson's back. Y'all remember Hank, y'all? Guam might tip over. Yes, sir. I was concerned that maybe Guam might tip over. Hank Johnson, the slowest talking dude and the dumbest dude in Congress, Hank Federico, they got hit after hit after hit, man. I would be embarrassed to send these people out talking about these are Democrats.
This is not what we stand for. We need a change.
We need a change. Oh, no, you need to go change those clothes. Okay? Unbelievable. She got a hat that matched every outfit. Now, let's continue, though, because in the middle of her press conference, she's going to get interrupted with the natural habitat.
You have to do that. It's going to take the people. I've talked myself into oblivion.
Boy, these Dems are dumb. You don't get no dumber than that. I know they were like, Federico, there's other places we can go that maybe there's no traffic. We're not just looking like we just pulled off because you had to pee or something. Excuse me, baby, pull the car. I got to pee so bad. There's nowhere to pee. I'll run out in the bushes and then come back and do my press conference. So wait, she's just standing there, side of the road, cars riding by, all the noise. I mean, right now I got a good mind to go and get my car from 1989. I had an Acura Integra, and I put a sound system in the back. Sound like a gorilla in the trunk trying to get out. Boom, 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 boom. And go all the way down there just to go ahead and interrupt this sideshow right there. Just going back and forth with cars ride by at the booming system. Boom, boom. So nobody can hear this Pink Panther talk. Unbelievable. Blowing the horn, I'll be doing all kinds of stuff. Burnouts, donuts, you see me in the background. So here she is trying to tell everybody to go and to threaten your congressperson. Yet people can't even hear what she's saying because of the traffic. I mean, who set that microphone up? Unbelievable.
We need the people. We need an uprising. People are taken to the streets and writing letters. That's what we do.
That's what we do.
That number you call and you threaten them.
You threaten them, baby.
And you say, this is wrong.
This is wrong. So there you have it, guys. Modern day Democrat Party. They got Sherry Hassan trying to impeach the president. You got Federico Pink Panther Flamingo down there trying to tell everybody to go out and do an uprising. You got Hawker Jeffries out there lying on Trump. And the list goes on and on and on and on and on. Poor Dems, and they deserve every bit of it. Yep, somebody said, Maxine's sister, you right about that. Boy, I tell you, she would give Maxine Waters a run for her money when it comes down to the stupidity and the craziness. But anyway, they give us wonderful laughs and wonderful material, and I'll keep bringing it to you as long as I can. So God bless y'all. Thanks for hanging out with me tonight. As soon as I said God bless you, you already know what happened. She ran right over here. It's funny. I mean, these dogs. Yeah. Is this right? Gizmo. Gizmo. Looks like he has some hard times. He's getting a striped widow peak right there. You see that? He's starting to look like Stripe instead of Gizmo. Yeah, it's time for Gizmo to get a haircut, buddy. Isn't it? Yeah, coolest dog in the world. So cool. And then, of course, come here. Pregnant girl. She's like, I'm with child. There you go. Yeah, I'm talking about you. Don't be trying to lick me. Yeah, good girl. You gotta love Nala, though. She's so funny. Hilarious. Love the dogs. All right. So the number on the screen, 330-97446. Hey, cut it out now. Simmer down. Simmer down. Simmer down now. Off. Yeah, see. I got to control the kids. Anyway. Now, don't forget, hit the like button on the way out. Share my videos. If you want to support the channel in other ways, you can do it through my CASHAPP, my PayPal, or just go into Kevin's Corner. Subscribe to my alternative channel. And hit that. I think I did all of that stuff. Yeah, so you're good. I'll be back tomorrow, same time, same place. God bless. Take care. Oh, yeah. Pink Panther, y'all. On the loose. This is awesome. Yeah, awesome.
Yeah, uncle. Uncle, got our hands down, uncle.
Tear up the place, yeah. Take care.